The allegations continue to mount against Bill Cosby this weekend. More women came forward with stories of sexual assault.
Cosby's lawyers say he's being vilified, but these allegations just keep coming. And as the number of accusers rise, this fallout grows.
Did you lose, when you heard about all this stuff, did you lose an idol, someone who's like act you always loved as a comedian?
I am one of the people who didn't want to believe that Bill Cosby could do something so awful. He's been a personal idol of mine for most of my life. I especially admired his humor, which didn't rely on shock value or being crass. Yet as these allegations mount, I just have to admit that I was looking more for Cliff Huxtable than I was Bill Cosby. And that makes me think back on fictional characters and the ideals that they represent. Arthurian legends of valor and Beowulf's feats of strength, or cautionary tales such as Icarus and Bellerophon. There's a great power to be found in stories. They represent ideals with characters that are, in a sense, incorruptible. And you can find this idealism in any form of entertainment, even good old 80s cartoons. I grew up watching tales that were, at heart, aimed at selling toys. Yet part of that sales pitch was to create protagonists who embodied a nobility that surpassed whatever evil they fought.
The only real power comes from inside, Skeletor. From courage, honor, and other things you wouldn't understand.
Yes, many of us have made jokes about He-Man's sexuality, myself included. But at the end of the day, I see him as a man who has tremendous power, yet chooses to use it for the sake of others. I wonder if any of these heroes have ever had to deal with their own disillusionment. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this.
Protector of peace, mystic man from afar, champion of justice, martial Brave Star.
Running from September of 1987 to February of '88, Brave Star was the last animated show produced by Filmation and Group W Productions. It was, of course, tied in with a toy line that had been released a year before. And I suppose I should give you youngins a history on the setting. Brave Star is a space western. Oh, don't you toy with my emotions. Set on the planet of New Texas, unless they didn't call it Space Texas, the frontiersmen of the planet are on a hunt for a special mineral called carium, located on the fictional periodic table right between Gundanium and Thundranium, and various other eons. But the carium rush has brought on any number of ne'er-do-wells from across the galaxy, including the mystical criminal, Tex Hex. New Texas would be his territory if not for one lawman, a galactic marshal who was able to channel the spirits of several animals, giving him superhuman abilities in addition to his high-tech arsenal. The episode Fallen Idol begins with Brave Star doing what any man of action would do, reading the morning paper.
Fuzz.
That's Deputy Fuzz, one of the native prairie people. He's the Orko of the group. And that's a fair analogy, since both Brave Star and He-Man share cartoon legend Lou Scheimer as executive producer. And if you're having flashbacks to a talking cow, that's because Charlie Adler uses the same voice for both Fuzz and Cow of Cow and Chicken. It's a small industry. Fuzz notices that Brave Star's mentor and idol, Jingles Morgan, featured in the morning's wanted posters.
What's Jingles wanted for?
Murder.
Brave Star.
Jeez, don't give me whiplash like that. Anyway, Jingles was the top trainer at the Martial Academy, a man who was the best at combat and wielded a disintegrator like a scalpel. He taught Brave Star everything about being a marshal, until one fateful day when he represented the Academy in a sparring match against the Imperial Guard.
Remember, it's just a game, Commander. Little contest between the services, that's all.
I've never served in the armed forces, but from what I've heard, it's never just a game when different branches compete. So Jingle squares off with an anthropomorphic crocodile wearing boxing gloves. Only in the 80s, my friends.
I never lose!
Well now, I think this is a good time to look to the words of 1960s track and field gold-winning Olympian Wilma Rudolph. Winning is great, sure, but if you're really going to do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. If you can pick up after a crushing defeat and go on to win again, you are going to be a champion someday.
I never lose!
Or you could go on a murderous rampage. Sure. And I want to make this clear. This isn't an act to trick the bad guys. There's no last-minute save. The crocodile guy isn't recovering. He is dead. And since a disintegrator is involved, there probably isn't enough left to fill a matchbox. So let's take a moment to remember, this guy. And somehow, Jingles was able to evade both the Imperial Guard and the Marshall Academy staff, get off planet, arrive on New Texas, and is seeking out Tex Hex.
Knock, knock. Come on in, doors open.
He's no Skeletor, but I like Tex Hex. And thanks to a run-in at a bar, Bravestar knows that Jingles is in town and pursues.
Hurry, big partner. Jingles came this way, headed for the hexagon.
Get it? It's called the Hexagon, because he's Tex Hex. Yeah, no. Anyway, Tex is willing to add Jingles to his gang.
If you can pass the final test. Get rid of Bravestar.
It wouldn't be the 80s without some weird animation. I have no idea how this came about. Jingles looks like he had a line that never made it into the show, and Tex... Bravestar is just outside the Hexagon's detection and decides to do some recon.
Eyes of the Hawk.
Yeah, get used to Bravestar's powers going beyond their names. Eyes of the Hawk pretty much means see what the script wants you to see.
He's there. We going in? No, not yet.
What? Why are you cutting back to me? Oh, you're wondering about the talking horse. Sorry, I've gotten rather used to it. This is 3030. He is an equestroid, or, to sound less silly, a cybernetic horse who can shift between quadruped and biped forms. I did say less silly, didn't I? And if I may go on a tangent, bronies. How did we miss this guy? He's one of the coolest characters in the show. He's like Friendship is Magic meets the Expendables.
One push is all you need. A fist philosophy. We watch with wounded eyes. So I hope you recognize.
I'm just saying. Bravestar's been uncomfortable with this situation, and I really enjoy how they present him. A lot of modern shows, especially anime, would have the main character moping and hesitating. Bravestar doesn't shy away from his role as a marshal, the role for which Jingles trained him, but he's not impersonal about it. He decides that this is something he has to do alone, so he sets off into the Hexagon.
Speed of the Puma!
I don't mean to harsh on what are an awesome set of powers, but can we have some honest labeling here? Something like, Speed of the Roadrunner! Meanwhile, 3030 and Fuzz decide to support by using Fuzz's natural tunneling ability. Problem is, 3030's solution to most problems is to shoot it until it stops being a problem. One near cave-in later.
There, you happy now? Next time, who's digging the expert? Me.
Fuzz may talk like a toddler, but ho, did you get a verbal smacking. Bravestar's taking the harder route, facing all of the Hexagon's defenses, including a giant lava monster? Oh, good grief, I've missed this kind of silly awesomeness. Only in this kind of show could you—
Galloping galaxies.
You killed it. You had it, and you killed it.
Strength of the bear!
I'm not going to complain about the powers anymore. I'm just going to enjoy the fact that Bravestar defeats a lava monster by plugging a volcano, defeats a bull-snake hybrid skeleton, outpaces everything, and battles his way out of a Cthulhu trap. Made popular by Japan.
Hello, Jingles.
Bravestar comes face to face with a man he once admired. Except, I don't think Jingles ever was that man. He was encouraging and friendly, but only after he'd won. He had respect and admiration, the chance to leave his mark on the Academy's history, And in one moment of pettiness and pride, he ruined it all. Bravestar, by contrast, took his defeats as a means of humility. He became the best marshal in the galaxy because it's not about his ego. Bravestar's biggest mistake was to view the man as a myth. And now that the illusion is gone, it's up to Bravestar to say,
You're under arrest for the murder of Imperial Trooper Salomon Bliss on Antares 3.
I am man-crushing so hard right now. As is true of many animations at the time, this footage would be reused and repurposed throughout the series. Yet the combination of the story, the music, the animation, and the vocal talent of Patrick Fraley really makes this a dramatic scene. Wait, that crocodile guy had a name? Oh snap, I need to fix this. So it's down to a draw, and though Jingles may have won every time in the Academy, Bravestar's come a long way since then. The best thing about this victory is that it doesn't feature Bravestar's powers. It shows, beyond a doubt, that the student has surpassed the teacher. Tex Hex and his subordinate Thunderstick are all set to finish things when...
Sorry, Hex. Not today.
All of my fan love! It's off to trial for Jingles, but not before Bravestar tries one last time to understand why Jingles fell from grace and why he tried to kill one of his best students.
I never asked to be your hero.
What a strange note to end on. I do wonder if people held up on pedestals come to resent those who put them there, that maybe it's impossible for any person to live up to the ideals we assign them. This story weaves together a tale of two men, one who rose to the top and inspired others, yet fell due to his own pride, and another who grew up believing in an idol and then surpassed him. It drives home that Bravestar wouldn't be the man he is without Jingles' influence, and while that disappointment is apparent, it doesn't break the hero.
And please, if anyone ever lets you down, just remember them for what they did right and not for what they did wrong.
This is an underrated episode from an overlooked show. It's a warning to the young about the dangers of pride and helps give an idea of how to accept when a hero or idol turns out to be less than what we imagined. We're attracted to public figures because they tend to represent something we strive towards. It's hard when that same figure falls short of the ideal. Disappointments are hard and inevitable, yet we have the choice to keep believing and striving for something better. So let's have the Marshal, and the coolest horse in fiction, say the last word on this.
Bad things are bad no matter who does them. And remember, there are plenty of other heroes out there who are good.
Yeah, like me.
I'm Silver-Quill, and I'm mighty grateful to y'all for watching.